Hello everyone, and welcome to my ranking of all of the fighters in the Kengan Ashura Annihilation tournament. Since the Kengan vs. Purgatory tournament in Kengan Omega is not over yet, I'm going to wait a few months until that is concluded, and then I'll do a tier list for the Omega fighters so far. Until then, we'll be working with the fighters from Kengan Ashura, because Ashura is completed, and we can pretty much see everything that those fighters did with more of a complete picture. So, before I get into today's video, I of course have to give a shout out to my wonderful patrons. Special thanks to Fuse, Neo, Dijon Redden, Anthony Chavez, Honey Mustard, Zach Rowitz, K-God, Chris Redfield, Scratch23, Moonshadow935, Rat, Ryzen 4K, Artist, Mac Campaign, and Wave of Manga. Thank you all very much for supporting me on Patreon. I greatly appreciate it. And if you too want to get a shout out at the start of videos or access to reviews for solo leveling in the Boxer, you can always become a patron as well. There's a link to my Patreon down in the description. And of course, right before we get into the video, if you haven't already, you should click that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. You should also like and leave a comment. It helps boost us up in the algorithm. It'd be a big help. I'd appreciate it a lot. So without any further ado, let's get into this tier list. We have an extra tier here that I also added S+ for a few characters. The jobber tier here is for characters that I feel probably aren't that strong anyway, but just kind of got shit on so hard that it's really not ideal to show off how strong they are. Chiba, for example, I feel if he fought someone who wasn't Hatsumi or didn't use the worst possible strategy for fighting Hatsumi, he probably could have done better. Same goes for Gozo and Sawada. I don't think they're particularly strong, but I don't think their showings were adequate enough to really give us a good idea of what they can do. So now the actual bottom tier. We start off with Adam. Really nothing remarkable. I feel like the standard here for the tier lists is C. There's not really much special, or you have some dumb gimmick that doesn't do anything. B tier is kind of an average fighter. A tier is an above average fighter. S tier is high tier. S+ is top tier. There you go. So now we have Okoye. Okoye is a bit of a tough one. I'm not sure if I want to put him high B tier or low A tier. I'm thinking with who I will put as like bottom A tier, as sort of the standard for A tier. I think I'll have Okoye as high B. His reaction speed is kind of his biggest asset. Mostly it was his teamwork with whatever her name was that made him kind of as strong as he was during his first two rounds. But even without her, without her, he just kind of becomes insane and is kind of easier to trick, which is mostly why Cosmo beat him, was because, you know, he wasn't thinking clearly. Now we have Bando, who I would probably put just below Okoye. The thing about Bando is if you are probably like a below average fighter, you're going to die instantly fighting Bando. It's very likely that if you don't have very good reaction speed, or you don't know what Bando is going to do, you'll probably die. You'll probably get your head blown off by Bando. But for people above his level, well, they can probably last long enough to beat him. So, Bando has a gimmick that's not terrible, actually. Now we have Gao Lang, who I would probably have as a higher level A tier fighter. He gave Kano the hardest fight he had had in his entire career up until that point. He was walking all over Kano, pretty much almost for the entirety of the fight until Kano began to adapt to his Muay Thai. Because even when his formless began to overcome Gao Lang's boxing, Gao Lang just started using Muay Thai and went back to kicking the shit out of him. So I think Gao Lang was definitely like kind of a high A tier fighter. Now we have Hanafusa. Hanafusa's a weird one. Because Hanafusa is based largely around prep time. So if he really doesn't have prep time for a fight, he's probably going to get his ass beat. Hatsumi, our first S-tier fighter. We're assuming Hatsumi is in peak condition here, of course. Hatsumi can just kind of walk all over a lot of the fighters below him when he's in peak condition. His only real weakness seems to be hard martial arts. I know there's some meme about Hatsumi versus Gowlang that I don't care about, and I'm not going to get into it today. I'll just say that I think, while yes, Gowlang gave Agito a harder fight, Hatsumi fought a much stronger Agito, and Agito who is basically like a very hard counter to him. I don't know if Gowlang hard counters Hatsumi, but I definitely don't think Gowlang is stronger than Hatsumi. So that's my take on that controversy. Now we have Cosmo. I'm thinking quarterfinals Cosmo is probably like mid-A tier. Yeah, the zone's pretty good. Cosmo is one of the best grapplers in the series. His striking is really not all that much to write home about at this point in the series. But he's pretty good. He's one of the best grapplers in the series. He could probably, by quarterfinals, he could probably beat a lot of the people under here with not too much difficulty. Inaba, that's another case there where it's just like, whatever, not really anything remarkable. Julius is definitely an S tier. Like, are you shitting me? Now, I'm thinking Julius probably gets countered by Hatsumi the same way that Wakatsuki did. He's probably kind of weak to soft techniques. We kind of saw a little bit of that in Omega. Of course, do you think Julius can just brute force his way through soft techniques if he tries hard enough? I don't know. I'm thinking if Waka was not able to brute force through Hatsumi, Julius probably couldn't. I'm not sure, of course. That was a Waka of a long time ago, and Julius was, during this time in the tournament, physically stronger than Wakatsuki, so I don't know. I would say Julius and Hatsumi are probably very relative to each other. Not gonna make a super definitive statement on this one. Now we have... Shit, I can't remember your name. Which sucks, because you're a really cool character. I'm not sure where to put him bottom tier, because he's not very strong at all. Like, the precognition thing is kind of good, but we have several characters that just have better versions of it, so... I'll put him above... do I want to put him above Adam? Adam would probably just beat his ass, which is kind of sad. Agito, our first S+ tier character. Agito, I would probably have as the third strongest fighter in the Annihilation tournament. Formless is already really strong. It's kind of busted. And then you have Evolution, where if Agito isn't already strong enough to beat you, he will just think of a new strategy to beat you, and will become better at martial arts. Assuming the fight was not basically ended by him using the Dragon Shot, it's somewhat likely that Agito would have eventually become strong enough to beat Kuroki. I'm pretty sure Sandra has said there are scenarios in which Agito beat Kuroki during the Annihilation tournament. So, yeah. The endless growth, I think, is enough to put him up there. But then you also have the sheer versatility that Agito has. I'm pretty sure he has at least one move that he can use at every possible range, which does have a weakness in itself, that it forces you to take time to think of what to do next. But overall, Agito has stuff to answer almost everyone on the list, really. So, I don't think it's controversial to have Agito up here. I mean, come on. Karo? I don't remember your name. You're not really remarkable at all, to be honest. Yeah, I guess he's stronger than Adam. Actually, Inaba's really not that great. I'm not really sure where to put Inaba. I just know he's kind of low tier. Kyozan, it's pretty alright. Not really anything super remarkable, but he's fairly durable and strong. Not really much to say other than that. Kiryu is probably top of A. I would maybe even dare to put him bottom S tier, because Blink and Rakshasa's Palm are very deadly. Very hacks. Very likely that if you don't know what's going on, Kiryu can one-shot you right from the start. The only ways we've seen for people to beat the Koei style is if they know how it works, or they are just so durable that Rakshasa's Palm just doesn't work on them. And then, of course, also Kiryu knows parts of the Nico style and has Fallen Demon, so I would say at the very least high A tier. That's where I put him, as maybe lowballing a little bit. I'm sure some of you guys could make an argument for him being S tier. But yeah, Kiryu's pretty strong. Haruo. He's okay, I guess. Not really anything remarkable. Got his shit pushed in by Akoya. Kure Ryan. Tough choice here. Do I think... Oh, no, wait. Who the fuck am I kidding? Ryan is definitely S. I don't know if I would put him above Julius or Hatsumi at this point in the tournament, or in the series at least, because we know Ryan is definitely one of the physically strongest and most durable characters, at least in Ashura, but he's an idiot, and he almost never uses Kure techniques, especially if he fought Julius. I don't think he would use Kure techniques, because as we saw when he was fighting Oma, he pretty much refused to use them because he just wanted to brute strength Oma to death. And I think when fighting someone like Julius, he would probably try to do the same. I don't think that would really work out too well. I don't know. Do I think he could beat Hatsumi? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure if he could beat Hatsumi. Probably not. I don't know. That's what you guys are here for. I'm assuming a lot of you guys watching this are more into the power scaling and stuff than I am. I'm doing this fairly casually. So you're welcome to discuss and argue with each other in the comments about where you think Ryan goes on the S tier during the Annihilation tournament. I know if Ryan did use Kure techniques and removal, he would probably be S+, but he's just such an idiot that he almost never goes all out, and that's kind of something you have to take into consideration. Kuroki, I don't think I need to explain much for Kuroki. He won the Annihilation tournament because he was the strongest character in the Annihilation tournament. It's that simple. Pre-initiative, Kaiwan style, dude's kind of got it all going on. The great thing about Kuroki is, unlike almost everyone else on the list, he doesn't have like a big gimmick or anything. He doesn't do some kind of meme magic martial arts. I mean, the Devil Lance is kind of impractical. You would break the shit out of your fingers all the time. I know that's part of the training, but still, should not be as effective as it is. But Kuroki is top of the tournament through sheer experience and knowledge. So yeah, I don't think that's controversial at all. Meguro, good old Meguro, is alright. He would be dangerous against someone who doesn't have the ability to just kind of put him down immediately, but I feel like a lot of the fighters above him do kind of have that capability, or at the very least they could weather him out, just beat him to death before he could wear them down. Ray, I'm going to put Ray around Kiryu. I'm really not sure which of those guys would win in a fight. I'd actually like if some of you guys in the comments could give your sort of take on who you think would win between Ray and Kiryu. Because Kiryu is probably the fastest character in the entire series, especially when he's in Super Simp mode. So I'm wondering how that would match up against the Koei style. Mokichi. I'm going to put Mokichi like mid to low B tier. The fact that he was able to contend with base form Ryan was pretty... It's nothing to scoff at, but as soon as Ryan went into removal, oh my god, he was fucking ragdolling him. Like, he just got obliterated when that happened. So, yeah. No good there. Muteba, I would probably put Muteba above Cosmo. Just because, based on his fight with Meguro, I feel like Muteba is just the kind of fighter where if he gets grappled or something and you don't get him in, like, a very specific hold, he's gonna, like, fucking gouge your eyes out or something. I don't know, I think Muteba could probably beat Cosmo. Not really sure about him beating Gao Lang. Oh shit, I forgot about Nezu. I knew I forgot someone. Yeah, Nezu's the biggest jobber in the series. We have no idea what he can do, because he lost the instant his match started. Yeah. Nikaido, that's another one who's just like kind of alright, as far as we can tell. Managed to put up a decent fight against Kiryu, but as soon as Kiryu used Fallen Demon and Rakshasa's Palm, Nikaido was already fucking dead. So, yeah. Okubo. Okubo is bottom A tier, I think. I think him and Cosmo are about relative to each other. Though when you consider that like a half-dead Cosmo was able to use Zone and grapple Okubo, it was like, I don't know. But Okubo was able to give a decent fight to Agito. A bunch of the very strong characters acknowledged that, well, Okubo is really strong. So, yeah, I feel like that's a pretty... I feel like having Okubo as like low A tier is a fairly popular choice. Or at least having him somewhere in the A tier. Rihito... What else? Well, like, what do I have to say about Rihito? Not really much. Actually, Rihito would probably beat Adam just through bleeding him out. Saw Peng. Saw is pretty good. He could probably knock out, like, half of these fucking guys. The Hammer of Burma is one of the strongest attacks in the series, and Saw Peng is stupidly durable. But he doesn't really have much against some of the guys above him. So, Seki. Ooh, would Seki beat Saw Peng? Actually, hold on a second. I think Saw Peng has to go above Kyozan, because I think Seki is stronger than Saw Peng, and, well, Seki is also stronger than Kyozan, but I don't think Seki is that much stronger than Saw Peng. They're pretty close to each other there. Oma, this will be a little controversial. Oma, I would have as the second strongest in the tournament. I do have Oma above Agito, at least at the level Agito was at by the time he was beaten in the semifinals. This is because, although Agito, in my opinion, put up a way better fight against Kuroki, Oma did more damage to Kuroki, and was half dead while doing it. Oma was able to hold off Kuroki long enough to break one of his arms, while being half dead. So, I think if Oma were in 100% condition, he would give a way better fight for Kuroki. I don't think he would beat Kuroki. I think he would have a better chance. Certainly not a better chance than Kuroki at winning, but it would be much closer. I think Kuroki would even have like a high difficulty fight, something around as high difficulty as his win against Agito, maybe even higher difficulty. But yeah, Nico-style tomfoolery, meme magic martial arts. He has the advance. You know how it goes. He's the main character. I don't have to do too much explaining as to why Oma's up there. And the last one, we have Wakatsuki. I think semifinals Wakatsuki is stronger than Hatsumi. Even though he would probably still be hard countered by Hatsumi's Aikido, if Hatsumi got hit by a blast core, it would be over. That's kind of how it goes for, well, just about everyone, to be honest. If basically anyone except for, like, Julius and maybe Ryan get hit by blast core, it's pretty much over. So, I do think Wakatsuki's up there. And Hatsumi is a weird case where he hard counters a lot of other people really hard, but then also gets hard countered by other people that are not necessarily stronger than him, so he's a little bit of a difficult one. But there you have it, folks. There's my complete Kengan Ashura Annihilation Tournament fighter tier list. What did you think? Where did you agree? Where did you disagree? I welcome the discussion in the comments. I'm sure there will be many people, as always, calling me an idiot for some of my placements, and I welcome the criticism. So, yeah, that's all I have to say for today's video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy Kengan Omega, I do reviews on it every week, and I'm going to be doing a few more videos kind of like this one once the Kengan vs. Purgatory tournament is over. So you should definitely subscribe so you don't miss those when they come out at some point in the future. And if you enjoy discussing Kengan Omega with other people, you should definitely check out my Discord server. I have a link to that down in the description. Also, if you enjoy other series such as Jujutsu Kaisen, Record of Ragnarok, Chainsaw Man, and Bleach, I do videos in that series as well. So, if you're interested in those, you should definitely check out my channel. So yeah, that's all for today. I'll see you guys around. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, take care.